Yeah, mate, yeah, I'll be at the meeting. Yeah, don't worry about it. Be just 5 more minutes. I'm just doing a bit of shopping. Hey, mate, if I'm going to be managing in the Champions League, I can't be rocking up to the games in a Suzuki.
Jarune, za tebe mi dijete diše, tu je važno samo jedno, nogomet i ništa više. Jarune.
Hello and welcome back to Jarun on The Impossible Dream. It is Season 4, Episode 4 today. We will be qualifying for the Champions League unless something goes horribly wrong. So what I've decided to do is come back and show 2 league games against Rijeka and Gorica, and that way we can still see our Champions League fixtures, but we don't have to sit through a game that is essentially done, having won the first leg 6-0 in Albania. Surely not. Not even I can stuff that one up. So, yeah, we're going to show 2 league games today, but one piece of news is that the Dashka bids are continuing to come in. Hertha Berlin made a bid for him. I tried to negotiate them up to 5 million, just 5 million flat, and they didn't want to do that. Crucially, Dashka is not too unhappy that he's not going there. So that is good news, but... yeah, am I against selling Dashka? Honestly, no, because he doesn't like big games, but until we can get somebody in that's actually going to replace him, and we can't really do that until we get the Champions League money in, then I'm not going to let him go. But we're definitely, I think, essentially having qualified for the Champions League, open to the idea of Dashka leaving. So we'll see. We'll just sort of see how that develops with time. Now, let's have a quick refresher of how we stand in the league. And it's not great. We've played 5 games, got 5 points, and we sit in the relegation playoff spot. Now, some teams have played more games than us. We're playing, as I said, Rijeka and Gorica today, who are the 2 teams directly above us. So they're 2 huge games, really. We could either get our season back on track here, or we could find ourselves in some serious trouble rooted to the bottom of the table. So time will tell, but it's Rijeka up first. Let's go and have a look and see what we're doing here. And we are expecting a 4-2-3-1 out of them. Looks like they've got a new player coming in at right back, but you can't see that behind my head. And which is the team we're sending out? Now, we are sending out a much stronger team here. This episode is all about getting our league campaign back on track, and then we'll play a weaker team in the Champions League at home. So Priscilla is in goal, but Kenic, Hartman, and Zebic in the back 3. Havoy and Roberts will be the wing backs. We've got Dashka, Nunez, and Tolik with Fillet and Tommy G going up front. It's essentially the European team, so let's hope they can get a European result. Alright, so we can see the team sheets here. Now, I can tell you, this Fran Brodick, we tried to sign him. He is just one of the many examples of a... we had Furyk at somewhere too. We had him at Grindavik, did we not? I think, for a season, maybe on loan. Let's pick... home form's important to us. So yeah, he's just one of the many examples of a player that was not being used at all at Dinamo Zagreb, and yet, you know, he goes somewhere else in the league, and he is a first choice starter. And would he have been a first choice starter for us? He wouldn't have been far off. He really wouldn't have been. So I know they were poor last year. They've been poor pretty much since we came in, to be honest. Have Dinamo Zagreb, but they are still very much the best team in the league, which is, as I said, they just need somebody that's not an idiot to manage them, and they'll walk it, I would imagine, still. So, yeah, let's see if we can get ourselves back on track here, though. I'm a little bit frustrated. I mean, there's no way that the game could ever code for this, so it's nothing against the game, but I'm a little bit annoyed that we can't sort of come to an agreement with the board. Like, if we qualify for the Champions League, we'll have, you know, this much to spend on players, so we can sort of get deals done with the I guess, the presumption that the deal doesn't go through until we've actually qualified for the Champions League. There's a good ball for Fillet. Fillet is in. Fillet has scored. And everybody, looks like they're celebrating. No VAR check. And we are 1-0 up in the 14th minute. So that is important. We really do need to be getting things back on track here. As Havoy for Fillet. And yeah, there we go. You'll notice that it's not... I've sort of held some players back, like so for Page and Bracalo will be the wing backs in Europe. I am fairly confident that the team that we've been playing in the league will not lose by 6. So he hopes. There's a good ball to the back post, and Roberts can't keep it down. So yeah, I don't have too many concerns about playing sort of that team in Europe. Although it dawns on me now, some of them may not be registered in the squad, so I probably should have checked a little bit more carefully on that as to exactly who is, for example, Kazina probably should be playing this one. Of course, as we know, he's upset because he's not registered in Europe. Is that Elia? Was that the guy that was at Stoke? Came to Stoke or for great fanfare? I wonder. There certainly wasn't Elia, but I don't know. He's a winger. Is that his first name? No, Salvatore. It was. That wasn't his first name. The guy I'm thinking of. Let's try demand more. We've had 72% possession, and yet we are only 1-0 up. Let's see if we can go and get a second goal here. Havoy back to Zebic. Zebic twisting and turning. Zebic is one. I hope that if and when we get into that Champions League league phase, that will convince him to come and join us. Tommy G's in. Tommy G off the crossbar and behind for a corner. It feels very comfortable right now, but until we get a second goal, it's very uncomfortable, isn't it, on the scoreboard? That is flicked away. And that will do it for that, and possibly for the half as well. So 1-0 up. That is not the worst, but obviously it would be nice if it was a little bit better. So we're going to tell him not to get complacent, and we'll get back out there. And do we have anybody on the bench that is not going to be able to play in Europe? I don't think I do. Yeah, I've kind of stuffed up the centre-backs, if I'm honest. What we could do is we could move Dashka back. Let's wait before we do that. Let's get this result first, and then we'll worry about trying to rest players. Havoy with a throw. Here we go again. Back to Dashka. Dashka to Zebic. Hartman's in a bit of space. So is Bekenic. Let's move them around. We could maybe do things a little bit quicker here, you wonder. There's a good ball for Rovis. Can Rovis whip a cross in now? He's got Philip, Tommy G. They're all in there. It's for Tolik. Oh, he's tucked it away. I thought it was going wide. It's Tolik's first of the season, and early in the second half, we've managed to go and double that lead. And given what we've seen from them so far, you'd like to hope anyway that that's going to be enough. Now let's have a look at this shot. I wonder if it took a deflection, if it was a mishit. It looked like it was going wide at first. It's just in off the post. It didn't look like he hit it cleanly, did it? It looked like it sort of floated a little bit, which is, I think, why I thought it was going wide initially. But anyway, we'll take it. 2-0. Phil at Havoy have got the goals. And Tommy G not having a great game. Again, we'd like to try and keep the guys, excuse me, that are on the bench fresh for Europe. And then sort of track this team out again when we come to Gorica. There are a few tied legs out there now, but again, this is the team I want more or less to play in Europe. So we'll just kind of go with it. Nunez for Tolik, Tolik for Philip. Havoy's making a nice run forward, but we don't use him. We could use him now, though, if Zebic sees him. Surely, oh, we've got to go to Havoy there. I've got something in my throat. Tolik does well. Oh, is he onside? I don't know that he is. It's Tommy G. He's had a poor game. It'll be the first I think he's touched the ball, it feels like. But has he touched it from an offside position? He has. Let's just give them a focus. It was nicely done by Tolik, wasn't it? Just, yeah, I wonder if crossing it in so early caught Tommy G. I was expecting him to sort of go more down towards the byline there. But either way, we've got a corner now. Nunez to take. Can we find someone's head? Oh, it was Philip. It's bouncing around, and it is cleared behind for another corner. Does Nunez trot across? No, it is Tolik this time. Let's see if Tolik can whip in a good one. It's decent. Again to the back post. Again, though, it's flicked away. Zebic will pick it up. And that is that. So we go into stoppage time. It is a fairly comfortable 2-0. It's a very big 3 points. Yes, it's at home, but we haven't been winning these games, and that feels like a good one, that one, doesn't it? So that starts to move us up the table, doesn't it? Suddenly we are 5th, 1 point off a European spot, and that is, yes, I said, just much, much better. So Jarun turned dominance into victory. KG press conference, that's all right. We don't care about what he says in his press conference. Tolik with a nice goal, so well done to you, sir. And Solskjaer is looking at Dashka now. He is the Blackpool boss, which is about his level, I think, isn't it? No, it's Solskjaer, not Dashka. Probably Dashka's as well, actually. But anyway, that is that. Guys, I'm going to go and qualify for this league phase, and then we'll come back. We'll see what our league fixtures in Europe are going to look like. They're going to be scary, aren't they? And then we'll face Gorica and really try and get the league campaign back up in a European spot. Alright, welcome back. Well, the game didn't go well on an injury front. Bracalo is out with a broken leg, so we're going to have to try and replace him, obviously, although maybe Rajakovic does get his spot in the Champions League squad anyway. But that aside, it was the 90th minute too. It was so late in the game. Let's go see how the actual 90 minutes played out. Brekalo crossed for Matanovic to give us an early lead. And Pranjic and Trugrenic hit them on the break to make it 2-0. But they pulled one back before half-time. And then drew level on the night. Before they got a third. So there we go. I mean, it was never in any doubt, to be honest. We got 2-0 up, and then almost across the board, body language just went complacent, and there wasn't really much I could do. I tried making some subs, but that didn't really help anything. And then you can see it there, 90th minute, Brekalo broke his leg, so not ideal. But let's go and have a look at these fixtures anyway. All right, so we are through. Let's 1, 2, 3. We've got our money, as you can see there, which is very nice, isn't it? We'll have a look at the finances in just a second. But Champions League fixtures revealed. Oh, that's a lot of stars. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Our home games are our best chances, and Fenerbahce and maybe Lons are the best two. That is, I mean, we can't expect too friendly of a draw, can we? Because we are essentially brand new into European competition. But top seeds Milan and Inter is could be worse, actually. To be completely fair, that could be worse as top seeds. Second seeds are the two English teams. Then we've got our third seeded Villarreal and Fenerbahce with Lons and Torino as the. So we've got 2 trips to Italy, which is nice. That's just a nice short trip across the border, isn't it? So. Yeah, that's... Do we think, what, maybe if we're lucky, can we get 4 points out of maybe Fenerbahce and Lons, I should say, at home? Outside of that, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it? But the important thing is right here. Look at that money. We will now go and ask the board for all sorts of things. I'll catch you up on exactly what I have asked for, but yeah, there will be requests that are going in. That is for sure. So we've heard back on a few things from the board. We are improving our training facilities, which is good because we did promise Brekalo, that we would do that. Was one of the promises when he signed. So that'll be done in February of the new year. Youth facilities are being improved as well. So that's 1.3 million. That'll be done December of this year. So that's going to take a little bit less time. Now they did not grant my request for improved junior coaching, which is okay, I suppose. We have got another extra scout in, so that's good. And the other thing that we're waiting on is an improvement to the transfer budget. We currently have 43 grand. I mean, come on. We can do a little bit better than that now, surely. So our transfer window is opened a little bit longer than the rest of Europe, but the Champions League registration window closes just after the main European window closes in early September. So what we really need to happen is for me to get an extra couple of million here, and then I can go out and try and spend it before that deadline and registration deadline closes. But we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Gorica it is right now. We're expecting a sort of a 4-4-2 diamond out of them, or however you want to describe that. And this is the team that we are sending out, assuming there's no heavy match loads, which there is not. So Priscilla in goal, Bekenic, Kozina, and Zebic will be the back three. Havoy and Rovis will be the wide players, and we've got Dashka, Nunez, Tolik, Phillip, and Tommy G. We've got a couple of youngsters on the bench. If this game is going well, I would very much like to give them some game time, but obviously we need to get the 3 points again here, and we're away from home this time. Alright, so we can see the team sheets here. Do we recognise anybody there? I don't think so. This is the brand new name of me, Miyasa Bar. That is, I'm assuming, a new signing, because that is the sort of name that I love, and sure I would have picked up on it beforehand. Go out there and impress me. Let's go with that. Let's pump our fists. We've got Kozina still looking complacent. Mate, you're not being registered in the European squad. Just get over it. It always frustrates me because it's like, surely if you're upset that you've missed out, and maybe this is the mentality that perhaps, I would have as opposed to other people, but surely you want to be like, go out there and just prove that, I should be in the squad, look what I can do, rather than just sulking. And like, as if you're going to get put in the squad because you're playing crap, because you're sulking. Like, it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, as I said, maybe that's just me compared to some other people perhaps. But I always said I had the mentality of a professional sportsman, just lacked any ability to do it. But yeah, it's just a little frustrating, but hopefully he'll play well anyway, and be happier sooner rather than later. Same with Regicovic. I do have a little bit of sympathy for Regicovic, and for him, he is going to, unless we get somebody else in, he will be registered in the Champions League squad now, so he's got a little bit of luck with the Bracalo injury. But he played a big part in getting us there, whereas Kazina, at the end of last season, he played a little bit for us in the league, but you wouldn't say that he's been a crucial part in getting us into the Champions League, whereas you can make the argument Regicovic arguably was. So I can understand him to a point, but I just wish Kazina would just grow up. We signed him from nowhere, and he's won himself a Croatian league. Like, he should be grateful for that. Oh, what a pass from Tolik. Was Tommy G onside? I have my doubts. But the pass, the vision from Tolik to pick him out was brilliant. And it may have even been too good for Tommy G. And he is indeed offside. That's a shame because, well, it deserved the goal. Yeah. I don't know that he was expecting it. I think I was expecting Tolik to have a shot, but that was brilliant. All right, here we go again. We've got a taste for goal now, hopefully. Here we go with Hrvoje. What's he going to do for us? Tolik. Yeah, I mean, those champions... I wasn't expecting the Champions League to be anything less than that, to be honest. It looks, even by perhaps the standards that we could have got, a little bit unfriendly. But we'll see. It'll be a good test to see where we do stuck up. Fenerbahce might be a chance at home because historically in Football Manager, Turkish teams are not the greatest in Europe. So that might be something that we can take a point we can take something from. And then, yeah, Lons at home potentially, but they're still, you know, a team from a good league. Oh, that's a nice bit of play. And, well, I don't think we're going to be let off the hook here. That looked fine to me. It was a really nicely worked goal. And it is disallowed. Well, we'll take that. Because essentially we just got picked apart there. Oh, he has gone just a smidge early, hasn't he? And Kazina did okay, actually, holding his line there. So we'll give him a little bit of credit. Here we go. Nunez over a free kick. We know he's good from a set piece. And that is a save from the goalkeeper. Unlucky. Tolik will now take the corner. We're almost into first half stoppage time. Can we get a late goal here? File can't quite get to that. It's back in. It's mixing around. It is Zebic. It is Rovis. It's back in. Oh, I thought it was going to fall for Tommy G. And just floated past him, didn't it? So 0-0 at the break. Each team's had a goal disallowed. And, well, I mean, we've been unlucky so far. Perhaps we could get away with saying that. Let's try pumping everybody up. Kazina still looking complacent. And, yeah, well, there's not much we can do about it, really. Let's encourage them again. Is there anything we can do a little... I wonder if we look to exploit the flanks, given that they are a little bit narrow there, aren't they? So we'll try that. We've seen teams in Europe struggling to deal with our two boys up front. Maybe if we whip some crosses in, we might get something similar here. And let's raise up this tempo a little bit as well. But there's not much happening second half, is there? Jesus. All right, so let's take off Tommy G. Not his day. Let's get Matanovic on, who's looked quite good when he's played for us. And let's also move Tolik forward. Let's see how they deal with somebody sort of more up in their face there. And maybe drop him to support as well. And we'll move Nunez to attack. Yeah, I think I like that. And encourage. We've got an attacking throw. Hrvoje. Can he whip across in? He goes back to Zebic. To Hrvoje again. Back to Zebic. Hrvoje, get out of here. Somebody, one of you go, one of you stay, please. Dashka, back for Kazina. Across for Bekanic. He's got some time and space now. Nunez gets it wide for Rovis. Rovis with a apocalyptic touch. What was that? Bekanic, thankfully, is there to win the header. But here come Gorica forward now in possession. Oh, I thought we were going to win that back, but they're pinging it around nicely. Ball over the top. It's Kazina winning it. Fillet wins it back for us. Here we go with Nunez now. We've got him a couple of men forward. Fillet. Look at the run of Hrvoje. Oh, we've picked out Tolik, and Tolik has scored in the 81st minute. And it's a really nicely worked counter-attacking goal. And it looked a little scrappy, didn't it? But Fillet and Tolik eventually figured out who was digging and who was zagging. And good thing Havoy pulled out of that because he was offside. Looks like it took a little deflection off the defender perhaps. But 1-0 away from home. Just wonder if this just took a little... Yeah, Havoy was off, but Tolik was fine. Did it take a little knock? Maybe not. But that is huge. Let's give them some praise. That's not what I wanted to hear, unfortunately. We have just gone back to positive now that we're in front. And now we're in stoppage time. We might even go and close this thing down, I think. Alright, so we just got our wing-backs back as full-backs with no more wide centre-backs. And everybody else is just a little bit more defensively minded than they were previously. And hopefully we'll be able to just see out what's left of this one. And that'll be 6 points in the league, progression in Europe, 12 million in the bank, and new facilities on their way. That's a pretty successful episode. We will tell them that's, yeah, well, it wasn't too bad. For an away performance, not too bad at all. Tommy G, though, not your greatest game, I would say. So just got asked in the post-game press conference there, and it was a deflected goal, but I think it was probably going in anyway. But that's good, isn't it? That is us up to third, which is, I think, where we want to be at a minimum this season. As I've said many times, I think Dinamo is too good for us. Hajduk probably have a better depth, but I'd like to think we can finish third this season. I think that does show as well, if we put out our best team, we're still a good team, which is important. Obviously, now we're in Europe, we're going to have to probably make a decision of whether we go sort of full beans at the Champions League, or whether we need to perhaps say we've got our money for the group stage, and now we focus on the league and getting back into it. But we do need to get European coefficient points as well. So I think we probably need to still keep trying to be the best team we can. And we'll be back next time. We've got to come straight back again, because Hajduk split is a big one, and then Villarreal. So sorry, guys. Let me know in the whether we want to see every game or whether we want to not see every game in the Champions League. First season, we probably want to see every game, I would think. So what we'll do is we'll come back for Hajduk and Villarreal, and then we'll try where possible and double up Champions League games, I think, so that this season doesn't take 6 months to get through. But yeah, that is that. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, next up it's Hajduk. We might have 1 or 2 transfers in as well. Take care.